Hello and welcome to the Perth Blue Baggers pod. My name is Louis, your host.
And I'm Marty on special comments.
Today we'll be reviewing our match against Richmond, and then we'll be doing a preview of our massive clash against Hawthorn. So straight into it, what did you make of that cardiac Carlton match?
Look, if I'm being honest, there wasn't a real lot to like about the game except for one very important thing. That's the outcome. 4 more points for the Blues. Banked in, and they all still count. The 4 points are the same whether you're beating Geelong or beating Richmond. So we're really pleased about that. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't our best game. But it was almost like we were brought down to Richmond's level in a way. There was a few echoes of the Essendon game a few weeks ago where we really weren't that great or shabby. I think we still deserve to win. I would say that. And all the stats show that. And in fact, I reckon they got closer than should have with a couple of dodgy umpiring calls really late. So I think it should have won by a fair bit more than that. But, here we are. At least the right team won, which I'm pleased about. A couple of things. We were slow to get out the gate. And this is where, again, that similarity with Essendon. It's almost like when you're favourites or you're we're a little bit complacent because they came out of the gate and they kicked 5 goals to 2. And they're pretty efficient when they went inside 50. I think they scored from 2/3 of their entries. They kicked a goal from 42% of their entries, which is not great. And that probably is a bit linked to Wiedering and Harry Dean being out, so that we're exposed early. But to be fair to the defence, they really tightened up after that.
Yeah.
So we might have considered 5 goals in that first quarter, but we really improved after that. I thought Nick Haynes was really good early, but I think we were a bit exposed apart from that early. But look, one of the hallmarks, I think, of the Fraser era is that when we're challenged, we hit back. That was evident in the second quarter. Whatever he said to them at quarter time, we came out hard and fast. And that second quarter was really crucial to us, kicking 5 goals, 1. We had an 8-point lead going into half time. Actually, we won by less than that. That second quarter was really crucial in the long run. It was probably the only quarter where I felt we really got going, and that link up game that that was on show in previous weeks wasn't really on show except in that quarter where we really we attacked well. Third quarter of an arm wrestle. We had a lot of that ball. We locked it up in our forward 50 really well, which is pleasing. Great footy. We just didn't really convert enough. And I think there was a bit of that through a fair bit of the game where I just didn't think we converted enough opportunities, and we just kind of kept them in the game. There was a bit of that, which was a bit frustrating. I mean, really, we should have been further in front at 3/4 time. But we just didn't put the score on the board. And, if you leave the gate open long enough, sooner or later they come through, don't they? And there was a little bit of at 3/4 time, I felt, where we had a 14-point lead, but we probably should have been further in front.
Yeah. Just going to try and find something because there was a stat related to our forward half dominance in the third quarter, but we weren't able to convert much. So I think there's let me just get it up. So we had 62% forward half time in the third term. So we were unable to convert most of that. It was only just the 1 or 2 goals in that third quarter.
Yeah, 2 goals. 2 goals, 3. Yeah. And look, on the face of it, that doesn't look like you're inaccurate, but we just weren't scoring.
And there was 6 consecutive behinds going from the third quarter into the fourth quarter, which could have really, locked up the game. But yet again, we failed to convert. So that continues to be an issue, and I think that's getting masked by the winning streak we're getting. Otherwise, we would be drilling on that a bit more.
Yeah, well, we do need to really tighten that up and do need to improve. And there's plenty of offenders there. There was a really bad miss by Ison late in the game that could have really sealed it for us.
Yeah.
But there were bad misses before that. It's not just to single out one young player. I think we did miss a number of. I think Cripps missed one, and there was quite a few. There was a few rush behinds, but we still missed opportunities. And it wasn't just that. I think in the second half, we only kicked 2 goals in the second quarter, and only kicked one in the third quarter, and only kicked one in the last. That's 3 goals and a half in football, which is not really that great. And it just means you leave the game open, and that's against a team that's, I think 17 out of 18. So we're going to need to play a lot better than that to beat Hawthorn this week.
Yeah, for sure. That's certainly what is scary about the upcoming clash. I think Richmond do they're not scared of us. Like, they've got nothing to lose. So it's almost like they like to play our best. It's become a very good rivalry over the last few years. So
a lot of really close matches. We've won 2 really close matches. And thank goodness, without those close wins, we would be out of the hunt for the 10. They're the only team we beat earlier in the season. And look, they had opportunities as well, I've got to say. They had opportunities, and they didn't make the most of them either.
Yes.
So
another best on ground
game, wasn't it?
Another best on ground performance from Tom Lynch. 2 out
We
of
love
the forwards.
So, it was really, there was a lot of misses, and
it was an ugly game from neutral perspective too, probably.
Well, I mean, they might have been happy with the late finish and the close finish if you're a neutral supporter, because we gave up 2 late goals, one of which was absolute ball dust, and that's where, if you look at the arc, which what's it actually for if you don't use it, where Nick Haynes actually took the ball clearly over the line immediately after a contest, walked back in and then walked out again, and it was penalised. And if you look at that first, the ball's clearly over the line. There's no doubt about it.
And that was where the pressure was. It was just the second time he went around when there was no pressure, but surely the first time is what counts.
Well, that's what the arc's for, is to see whether the ball's crossed the line.
Just abysmal. It's just
it's appalling umpiring. Then there's 2 free kicks, one straight out of the centre and one in the forward line that gifted them the second goal. The one out of the centre was there, I think, but the one the forward line, the guy's just dropped his knees and went for the free, and the umpire's been sucked into it.
It's someone like, I don't know, a small forward like maybe Ginnivan or something, where they're trying to crack down on specific players who do that. That wouldn't be paid. Yeah,
I just that was such again another rubbish decision. Anyway, look, at the end of the day, no point dwelling on that. We got the 4 points. That's the most important thing. There's a really dicey minute that we had to survive right at the end, and the boys were good. They just sort of jumped on it. And, there was one point actually where it was a 50-50, whether there's a ball up or a free kick against us in the dying seconds.
It was borderline. 1 second longer, unfortunately, would have been done, I think, but.
Was it Ainsworth?
Ainsworth scooped it up, and maybe just for a fraction he could have handled it, but I think umpires already knew they pissed off a bunch of Carlton fans, so they decided, we'll keep it low this time. Basic umpiring controversies here. Go into the stats. Why did we deserve to win the game? Why did we?
Oh, look, a whole range of reasons. So we had a lot more of the footy, right? So we had 372 to 318, which is a big gap in disposals. So we had a lot more of the footy. We had a lot more kicks, more handballs. The free kicks, like I said, got screwed a bit. We did get done a bit in the clearances, which was disappointing, because that's. I was concerned about 43 to 31. That's a decent margin, and the centre clearances continue to hurt us. We've been hurt a few weeks in a row now. I think that's an area to look at because that's supposed to be our strength there.
We're good against GWS, I remember, but
Yeah, not in some of the other weeks.
Essendon, no.
Uncontested. What has really jumped is the uncontested possessions, and we won that again markedly from 225 to 183. So a big margin there. So
Yeah.
I just thought that was really important. Marks 101 to 68. I mean, that's a fair margin. So we were much better in the air. And this final one on the marks, 17 to 8 marks inside 50. So we had a lot of opportunities. We had 17 marks inside 50s, and the whole game we kicked 10 goals.
We lowered our eyes so well.
Yeah. So that was good. We just didn't finish. We just didn't convert, I think, which was a problem for us. So probably another thing that speaks to how we're a little bit off our game. You know how I said tackles inside 50 really matter?
You always dwell on that.
They won 13 to 6. So it just goes to show we weren't quite on our game as much as we should have been.
Yeah.
When we're up and about, we're winning that stat comfortably.
No, I'm not sure they were quite on their game. They weren't completely focused. They focused more on the outcome rather than the process.
Yeah, that's right. We're in front 85 minutes. They were in front 35 minutes. We led most of the game. Like I said, we just didn't probably take advantage when we had the opportunity to take advantage properly.
Yeah. Only 20% goal efficiency, which is 3 or 4% lower than previous weeks.
Yeah, there's an opportunity missed there. Against a team that doesn't have a lot of really great defenders, I've got to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, look, I think that, like I said, I think that diagnoses some of the challenges well. We were down. We weren't at our best. Gave away a couple of late goals. Didn't probably put that game away when we could have. Gave away a couple of late goals, but still got away, still scraped over the line. And sometimes you got to win ugly.
Yep. So
remember we won ugly against Essendon, right? And then we had the bye, and then they've come out and won a huge match against GWS in Sydney.
Yeah.
So let's hope it repeats where we win ugly against a lower team. They've come out and smashed the Hawks.
Yep. Oh, that's good wishful thinking. I like that. Yep, very much. And I hope the listeners do too.
But, you
know. Now let's go into the players of note with our 5-4-3-2-1 votes. So start off. Who's your fifth?
Look, the player of the game for me was pretty clear cut, and George Hewitt. He was outstanding. 28 touches, 2 crucial goals, a massive 9 tackles. Which is way higher than anyone else. And we talked about intensity and a guy really being in the midst of everything. That's Hewitt. He was really outstanding, I thought, and composed. Both of those goals came at really crucial times. And so, when I said some of the other people didn't take their opportunities, he does. He's pretty reliable in front of goal, which is
the only one I trust in front of goal.
Probably the guy. He's probably the guy I'd like to see most kick for goal, so anywhere up to about 40 metres. I reckon I'm backing him most of the time.
I remember that Geelong game last year. I think he nailed one from outside 50.
He did. I don't think he's probably the biggest kick in the team.
Yeah. I also had him for 5 votes. So 26 disposals, 8 ground balls, 81% disposal efficiency, 5 score involvements, and 2 goals. Now, in his previous 39 games, he only had 8 goals. In his last 6 games now, he's had 8 goals. So now he's significantly impacting the scoreboard. And also across his last 6 weeks since being dropped a little bit of a few games where he got into it again. But he has had averages 26.2 disposals, 84% disposal efficiency, 7.3 score involvements. That's a lot. 8 goals, as I said, and 6 ground balls.
That's just an amazing lift, isn't it? He's just one of those guys that the difference between early in the season and now is so pronounced. Incredible, really incredible. Yep. And his consistency, part of what you talked about there is just game in, game out, putting the numbers up. He hasn't always been in our votes, but he's always been playing pretty well. And I don't think he's had a bad game under Fraser, really.
Nah. There was one 14 disposal game, but we'll let him off that because that was round 10 and it was only 2 games back into the AFL system. So
maybe I'm wrong, hey?
no, it's all good. Those 6 games didn't account for that 14 disposal game. But anyway, what's more important is these last 6 weeks, because I think he's put that 14 disposal game behind him. That's for sure.
And we're going to need Hewitt at his best because we've got a more difficult run now, and Hewitt's one of those 4 or 5 really crucial midfielders that we need in order to get on top.
Yeah,
because if our midfield is getting beaten, we're not beating a lot of these teams coming up.
Yeah. Your fourth?
Jagger. Jagger was outstanding. Really impressive. He was particularly crucial in the second quarter when we really needed to get back into it. I think it was the midst of everything in the second quarter. Like I said, we won the game in the second quarter, so it's quite important. I think he had 10 touches in the second quarter alone. So that gives you some idea about just how dominant. Hewitt had 11. So there was a few of the guys in the votes who I thought really stood up in when we really needed it. And he had 8 in the last quarter, I think, which is important too. I thought he was really impressive in the last quarter as well. So, out of 5 tackles, which for him, I think is pretty damn impressive. 3 inside 50s. Like he was in the midst of a lot of things today. And, what a first year he's putting together.
Yep. I also had him for 4 votes. Also 9 score involvements, 9 ground balls, and 13 contested possessions. So he's getting plenty of contested ball too.
And that's one of the reasons why he's so impressive. As a teenager, winning so much contested footy in his first year, it's just amazing.
Yeah. Another little bit of analysis for you. He's had 25 plus disposals in 6 of his last 8 games.
What's that for consistency?
Yeah.
From a first-year player, 25 plus possessions every game for the last 6 games. Amazing.
Yep. And he's now up to 34 coaches' votes this season. It's the most coaches' votes a player has had in their season ever. First season ever. Sorry. Sam Walsh previously held the record for 26 coaches' votes in 2019 when he won the Rising Star. Jagger has more coaches' votes than any other player eligible for the Rising Star Award combined of 24.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
And Willem Dersma has 0 coaches' votes so far this season. And in comparison, Nick Dacos just had the 4 coaches' votes in his debut season. So special player on our hands here.
Oh, that's a really interesting stat and really interesting observations. I've always had a lot of time for the coaches' votes because they're not just swayed by popularity. They're not just, media, whatever else, commentary. They're the coaches that are strategizing with their team and they know who's hurting them the other way and they're getting fed that constantly. And so
he had 8 votes, I think, this week.
Yeah, he was the second best player on ground for the coaches. Actually, my votes and the coaches' votes had some similarities this time round.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, he's just been remarkable. Third, 3 votes. Who's your third?
Well, this is where I departed. I had Nick Haynes with 3 votes. I thought he was outstanding. Never mind that last, rubbish free kick that wasn't there. He had a game high 7 intercepts, 4 score involvements. Not easy when you're a backman like him.
2 goal assists.
2 goal assists from a guy that plays in the back line. I mean, that's how much he got involved and how crucial he was. And his running game was fantastic. 15 uncontested possessions. 10 marks, by far game high. I think he kept us in the game in the first quarter in particular. That could have been a lot worse without him.
Yeah.
So he's just a really, he's having some season. He started slowly like a lot of us, our players did, but he's just come on in leaps and bounds. So, 7 touches in that first quarter alone. For a backman, that's pretty good going. Yeah, really dominant.
I also had him for 3 votes.
Hey, really?
Top 3, same so far. 3 intercept marks, 467 meters gained, 3-1 percenters, 10 marks. Yeah, very good from Nick Haynes. Your second vote. Your 2 votes, I mean.
Well, Frankie Evans. Loved his game. Real live wire.
Same.
7 intercept possessions, 6 good involvements, kicked a crucial goal, 6 tackles. We talk about how our smalls really need to be applying the defensive pressure, and he did it really well. So it's what he did with the ball and what he did without the ball was really important. When he's up and about, he's a real impact player. And, we've got 2 or 3. We didn't have very many impact players before, and we've got a few of them. I'd say him, Ainsworth, and Hayward are impact players. When they get amongst it, suddenly we look like a much better team. And he was certainly amongst it this game. He had a great game, I thought.
Yeah, remarkable. His 5 inside 50s were a career high too. So, and 19 disposals were an equal career high. So good job to him. And finally, let's see if the last vote matches together.
We'll see. Now, this is the guy, I haven't probably given him many votes, but I did think he was pretty good today, actually. And it wasn't just, sometimes he racks up 20 votes, 20 positions, and you don't notice him much. He was on a wing. He got amongst it, and I thought he was really good. Adam Chera, I thought he was great.
Yep, same.
Well, that's really funny for our listeners because often we don't. It's actually not that common that we do have all exactly the same. Now, 21 touches. He was really amongst it. I think he had the second most meters gained on the ground at 473, and that really shows how he was moving the ball well and driving us inside 50. So he kicked a crucial goal as well. I really liked. He has improved since moving onto the wing. I think. It's been good for him.
Nice. I'd like to do some analysis, and we'll see comparing the first part of the season, but 6 score involvements. Unfortunately, I think he had all those 6 score involvements in the first half, so it's probably quite influential in our second quarter resurgence, but went a little bit missing in the second half. That's why if he had more disposals and more impact throughout the rest of the game, he probably would have got higher in our votes, I reckon. 7 rebounds as well.
Yeah, and that's really important. It was his second quarter where he had 11 touches, and that was when he really dominated. Yeah. So he had 14 touches in the first half and only, I think it's 7 or something, 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Not as many, anyway, in the second half. So, he really dominated, I think. 14 in the first half, 7 in the second half for 21. So 2/3 of his positions came early. But, that's when we really set up the win in the second quarter. So I thought he was really dominant and, he was good, I thought.
Credit when credit's due. I think we've snubbed him of a few votes in this, resurgence under Fraser, but finally he earns one. So kudos to Ches. Let's go through some other players of note. Let's say Nick Newman was also quite a bit of a wall down back, 22 disposals, 493 meters gained, 5 score involvement, 6 intercepts, 7 marks, 5 rebound 50s and 4 inside 50s.
Yeah, he was really good. Newman's another guy who's just been really consistent, really.
Yeah.
I thought Cripps was pretty good too.
Yeah.
25 touches. Yeah, particularly the second half. I think he came into it more.
Which is important because we certainly needed someone to step up in the midfield when times were tough, as he always does.
Yeah. So, and sometimes it does take him a little while to get into it, but I thought he was pretty good. Again, the 15 contested positions. Once again, the most contested possessions for the team. I thought he was again another pretty solid game from him. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't play a bad game, does he? Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So 7 score involvements, 6 clearances, and 8 ground balls as well. So good job to him. Ollie Florent in his 200th game, 21 disposals, 467 metres gained, 4 rebound 50s, 6 intercepts, 3 inside 50s. Very good.
Yeah, another impressive effort from him. He was amongst it all, wasn't he?
Once again, my boy Billy pretty much gets a mention every week. 17 disposals, 5 intercepts, 4 score involvements, 336 metres gained, 5 rebound 50s, 31 percenters, and 4 ground balls. His run off halfback, especially in that second quarter, was another key magnet in our resurgence there. So good job to him.
It was good.
Lockie Cowan, 14 disposals, 4 marks, 86% disposal efficiency, 4 1 percenters, and 3 score involvements. Wade Dirksen, who was on Lynch, and the other Richmond tool, Lafau, I think it was. 11 disposals, 100% disposal efficiency, 5 intercepts, 4 score involvements, 5 1 percenters, and 4 marks. Big Dirk.
Yeah, probably one other guy I thought was pretty good in front of goal. A bit better than, we've given him occasionally a bit of stick. Brody Kemp was pretty good in front of goal, 2 goals, another goal assist as well. So he wasn't too bad, and the goals he kicked really did matter.
They were hard shots too, so he got them. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was good.
That's all I have of. Oh, did I say Cowan?
You did.
We did do Calvin. Yeah, that's all. And a special mention to Tom Lynch.
He's our 24th player.
Yep. Let's move on to the round 18 preview versus the Hawthorn Football Club. Our biggest test yet under Fraser. Wow, if we win this, the wheels are certainly off. I mean the lid's certainly off, and you have a lot to be excited about. But if we lose, look, I think depending on how we lose, will probably be what's telling.
Yeah, so a couple of things about the Hawks. I mean, the Hawks are a good team. They're one of the better teams going around, but we did knock off Geelong, who are also one of the better teams going around. They got done by 35 points against Melbourne, and they got done in the first quarter against Melbourne, really. So that Melbourne kicked 7 goals to 1 in the first quarter, another 6 goals to none in the second quarter. So, I mean, that's where that was lost, a massive halftime margin. They did come back and kick plenty of junk time goals, I think 9 goals in the last quarter, to make their scoreboard more respectable. But it was them coming out, the D's coming out hard. I think the first quarter is going to be really important here. If we come out and put a lot of pressure on them and really win the midfield battle, that will make a massive difference. I'm really hoping we see Harry Dean again. I think we should probably. That sounded like it was a 1 week only injury, I would say. Yeah. He's already become so important to our structure, I think. It didn't help that Lewis Young went down fairly early as well, which is not great to see. So I'm really hoping Harry's available for that reason. I think it's a little while before Wiedering we'll see him again. We don't have a lot of other players coming back. We don't have a lot of other issues at selection. Still the question mark about whether someone like Ison goes out of the team for a bit and we bring someone else in. I don't know if there's someone really knocking down the door, whether it's a Cooper Lord or a Flynn Young or whatever else in the Magoos at the moment.
Apparently a lot of people are rating him, but he's had his chances. So, I don't know.
The forgotten man, Flog. Forgotten man. So, look, we'll see if there is any changes at selection. I don't think Fraser's been that keen to change whenever we've been winning, which is all the time under Fraser. Not expecting much change in that respect, but I think we really do need to start well. The pressure gauge will be really important. Hawthorn are another team that can really pile on the goals quickly.
Yeah.
You just got to be very careful or very watchful.
Their speed will be hard to handle, but not if we have the ball first.
Well, you've got to use the ball well. But one thing that the boys have been much better under Fraser is getting back in defence. The running, defensive running. So that's been a two-way running. I thought so. One thing that did surprise me a little bit at selection was Akers going out. It's not. I mean, I'm a bit of a Ollie Hollands fan anyway. I like him, but I did think Akers was a bit stiff. And one thing Akers does is does a lot of running without the footy, and I think that was missed a little bit last game. I've got to say.
Maybe that's something that they should have a think about come selection.
Well, it does make a difference. Him and Cotters are always two of the players that you see getting back in numbers.
Yeah.
And getting an extra man at the contest, which makes a huge difference.
Yep. Who's there to worry about with Hawthorn? Probably quite a few. It's Gunston coming back. I don't know.
Oh, look, who's not to worry about?
Wizard. I love the Wizard.
And we all love the Wizard. He's a gun. So I think he's one to watch. Will Day's the other one. When Will Day is up and about, he is so dangerous. John Newcomb, I expect he'll get a lot of the footy as well. I mean, they really have got a lot of stars there. Down back, I think James Sicily, you just don't want to kick it to him. So they've got to be a bit smart there, use your brains, etc. But look, they've got a lot of stars. I mean, they've got a lot of big forwards. Maybe a Chol and people like that you wouldn't want to let Ginnivan off the leash as well. It's almost who don't they have really?
Yeah, there's not many areas that you look at and say, we can expose them in that facet. But we're going to have to be on top of our game. But maybe a change in mentality because we're the underdogs again. We can play with a bit more freedom. So hopefully the mental demons aren't there.
Well, we've risen to the challenge where we've faced our best games under Fraser actually been probably Geelong and GWS, where we really weren't probably expected to win, and we got up in both those cases. So, I don't think anyone will have us as favourites.
No.
But we've shown we've got confidence. If you don't have confidence after 7 wins, when will you?
Yeah. So, one last thing I'll say actually before predictions. Obviously, they'll be looking through match footage of how Hawthorn got exposed by Melbourne. So I think that would be the key there. Certainly, we should try and expose them contested and on the outside, I think, too, would, pay dividends. So I'm sure they will do it. It's probably quite custom to go through it on a Monday review. If they don't, then they're goodness knows what's happening at the club. But I'm sure that will be the case. And hopefully they find a working game plan come Saturday night.
Well, one thing the D's did is they put the score on the board when they dominated.
Yes. So we have to be capitalised.
And, they did what we struggled to do against. They had 86 points in the first half on the board. 86 points. And that's where they won the game. So if we are dominant, we've got to make that count against a team like Carlton.
No, that was... and it was in Tassie as well, which is a bit of a fortress for Hawthorn. So that was quite impressive. And who knows, maybe the MCG might bring about some different avenues as well. Predictions? What do you reckon?
Carlton by 3 points.
Yes, a nice close win. I do have the same. Let's say 5 this time because we'll learn from our, we'll keep learning from close matches and we're gaining confidence in these types of situations. I think we can somehow pull together a statement win and really lock in our place in the wildcard round. Well, on the way to it at least, because yesterday, finally we finished 10th in the.
Well, that's
the
the
first.
other big story. The other big story is that we were 1-8. We're now 8-8. We've now reached parity again. We've won the same amount of games we've lost. Who would have predicted that? I mean, it's an astonishing turnaround from 1-8 to 8-8. We are in the 10. We are in the 10 as it stands right now. And now our fate is entirely in our own hands. And most of those games, we discussed this a little while ago, most of those games are against teams around us on the ladder.
Yeah. So certainly quite a few times we have a chance to prove ourselves. And if we win them, we deserve to be in it. But yeah, one game at a time. Thanks for listening. Up the Baggers.
Calm the Blues.
Make sure you like and subscribe as well. Forgot to add that. But yeah, cheers.